Well, hey, good evening to you. How are you folks tonight? I just want to preface this by saying there's some heavy weather coming through tonight, maybe, possibly. So, you know, all the baggage that comes with that. If, if suddenly my broadcast goes away, well, you know. But anyway, how is everyone this evening? It's good to see you all. Of course. Oh, and I am, in case you're new here, I am the Dungeon Delver. And before I get too far in it, I just want to remind everyone, as is my want, I just want to remind everybody that tonight's live stream is brought to you by our friends at Hellebarde Games. Hellebarde Games makes the kind of adventure modules that they would like to play. Whether it is 5th edition, Castles and Crusades, OSR, old school is in play at the table. You can find Hellebarde Games at Drive-Thru RPG or directly from their website at hellebardegames.com. So, anyway, hello, Luther. I'm fine. Luther, did you get to see the rest of the B4 live streams we did? That's B4 The Lost City, not before. I hope you did. Something's not right here. I think I screwed up the camera when I adjusted it to point. It should be pointing down at me a little more. You're quite welcome. So yeah, last week, and we kind of did a little bit Monday night. We did a deep dive read through on the live streams of Dungeon Module B4, The Lost City, which is a classic that I had not delved into before. It kind of had some Assyrian and Greek mythological overtones, of course, with a healthy dose of D&D, the poor lost Synodicians and their degenerated society. Not that they're a bunch of degenerates, but, you know, the people who live in the dream state and run around dressed in animal costumes, like something out of a bad film version of a Michael Moorcock novel, or maybe a stage production of Zardoz in The People in the Tabernacle. But yeah, it was a good read. It was an interesting module. And Luther likes it a lot. And it was Luther's birthday. So we started the read on Luther's birthday. And we do that kind of thing around here. So if you're new, if you're just stopping by, if you haven't been here before, please click the like button if you like the video, click the subscribe button and the bell icon for notifications. And that is really, really great. Who's holding Hasbro shares? Not me. My portfolio, Volcano God, is a little lean right now. It's a little lean. Well, I mean, you can go back and watch the rest of the videos. They're always there. They're always there for you. Just like I'm always here for you guys on the live stream. Well, always being relative. It's not 24/7, 365 or anything like that. Can you imagine that? If I just had the camera on all the time back here, you guys would get an eyeful. Which is a worse stock, Hasbro or Disney? Has anyone ever... Well, first of all, thank you for the super, Jeremy. I appreciate that. No one has ever compared my voice and cadence to Art Bell. I take that as a compliment. My favorite Art Bell moment... my favorite Art Bell moment ever was when somebody called in and basically rattled off the plot to Half-Life, saying that they worked at the Black Mesa Research Facility and that like tomorrow they were sending a scientist named Gordon Freeman into the anti-mass spectrometer, and he wasn't sure if the sample that they had acquired from an unknown place would react to, and of course Bell fell for it hook, line, and sinker. And I'm sure 90% of our Bell, well, I don't know, probably closer to 50 or 60% of Art Bell's listening audience at that time fell for it too. But Disney and Hasbro are the cancer of stocks. Stonks. Yeah, I don't really know anything about stocks. The closest I've ever been to having a lot of money in that was a 401k about 30 years ago. I worked for a company that when I started working for them, they were an awesome company. And then I kind of watched them become not. I'm like Ruby Rod on The Fifth Element. Thank you, Volcano God. Thank you for the super. Who is the Art Garfunkel of ROGs? I don't know what an ROG is, so I couldn't tell you. Art was pretty good at playing the straight man, and highly doubt he behaved he believed oh no, I don't think Bell believed most of the people he had. I mean, I think he was polite enough to them, and I think Bell was smart enough to know that, you know, look, I think there are things in this world that are beyond easy explanation. It's just that simple. I think I think Bell is a very smart man. Was a very smart man. I mean, he had a media empire, right? He voiced video games occasionally. He was in movies and such. But no, I don't think he ate his own cooking at all. Do I remember J.C. Webster? I don't. I do not. I actually don't. I'll tell you a funny story about fundamentalist Christians and call-in radio programs. So there is an artist by the name of Boyd Rice. He is a Yahtzee. He claims he's not. He's like, I have friends who are people of color. I have friends who are Jewish. How can I be a Yahtzee? Yeah, you kind of are, Boyd. But then he's also a troll. He's also a big-time troll. He's kind of recused himself from the social eye these days, but he did a lot of stuff. But Boyd Rice used to go on this this radio program and debate the host. Like they would have actual debates, because Boyd would take the position, hey, I'm a practicing Satanist, and I'm, and I can't remember. Was it Kurt Hovind? I don't think it was Kurt Hovind. I'm not sure. But he was always respectful of him. He never yelled at him, and they never yelled at each other. They just seriously disagreed. Well, Rice tells a story that he actually saved this guy's life once, because Rice had a collection of firearms on display in his house, and he kept them loaded. And while this guy was at his house, another guest at the house who had never been there before picked up one of the guns and pointed it at the dude and said, hey, this is cool. It was like a Luger or something like that. And Rice like grabbed his hand and stopped the gun mechanism from working. And he's like, that's not a safe way to handle weapons. This is as close as you can get. I think you can still get these. I'm not sure. D&D t-shirts come and go, and it sucks because I would love to have a nice Dungeon Master's Guide print t-shirt. But Wizards of the Coast actually back around 2013, 2014 had a pretty good selection of shirts. It was just dndmerch.com. They ran a website, D&D merch, and you could get shirts like this. This isn't where I got this. This is like a parent shirt. It was Kent Hovind. Thank you. I knew one of you guys would know because I have a great audience. But anyway, so this shirt, or shirts like this, you could buy it. And there were so many. There was a Monster Manual shirt. There was a Player's Handbook shirt. I got a Dungeon Master's Guide shirt there. And there were so many shirts. I was like, well, I'll just go back there again one day. And then the next time I looked at dndmerch.com, they'd farmed it out to some guy who made like 20-sided die earrings and knuckle dusters. Like nothing D&D was left in his shop. So I don't know what happened. Road March. Well, you're going to see some Gamble World get played tonight at 9 o'clock. You have a LinkedIn account. I'm sure I could play some practice and get it. Yeah, no, I don't know, Vincent. But anyway, getting back to Art Bell. Yeah, I don't think Art Bell was a true believer. I'll tell you this. A few other funny Art Bell stories, but they're brief, I promise. The only time I listened to Art Bell on a quote-unquote semi-regular basis was I have a friend who lives about an hour or so away from me, which if you're familiar with Orlando could mean 2 miles away, right? But no, he lives way down on the south end of town. I would go there. I would play D&D on a Tuesday night. Games start at 9, wrap at 11, turn around, and drive all the way back to my home on this end. Thanks again for the super chat, Volcano. Anyway, I mean, I could have listened to anything I wanted to, but I would just I'd just be searching around the dial looking for something to listen to. And here's Art Bell. And I was listening to him. And he starts talking to this guy about the Vril Society, the Hollow Earth, and how Bigfoot are extra-dimensional demons. And he's going on about this guest he has on. And as I live and breathe, his guest sounded like Adam Carolla, the comic, Adam Carolla. But it wasn't Adam Carolla. I don't know who the guy was. But he was going, Death Angels, South Orange County. Yeah. That is down where I used to go. I live up in Northeast Seminole County, and I'd hop on I-4, and I'd go all the way down towards 441, past, like way down past the Florida Mall and everything. So there you go. Another Floridian Death Angels represent. You know where I'm talking about now. So anyway, so Art's talking to this guy, and he's going on about the Vril Society and Orgone energy and Hollow Earth and how Bigfoot, like the reason you never see a Bigfoot is because they teleport back to hell. Like, okay. So he's going on and on and on about this, and he starts mixing in stuff from the Matrix and the fact that there's that weird hexagonal cloud formation on the poles of Jupiter and everything. And I'll never forget, I nearly ran off the road laughing about this. And dude says, and I'm not kidding you, now this is where things start to get a little weird. Like all the shit that he's been talking about. Oops, sorry, Susan. All the stuff he's been talking about up to this point. Oh, of course. Yes. Hollow Earth, teleporting demon Bigfoots. Wait, it gets weird? What are you saying? Everything's been normal and completely... Am I implying Bigfoot doesn't teleport back to hell? So anyway, so that's Art Bell 1. Connect wants me to just start. Sorry, no. It's the game starts at 9. It starts at 9. Game World starts at 9. The other fun Art Bell story I have is, okay, so the job that I used to do when I had a career, I worked in electronic funds transaction. Now, after 7 o'clock, all of your banking and everything else goes into overdrive. It's how you used to be able to kite things even on an ATM card. It's like, I need $50 in gas. I know I only got 6 cents in my bank account, but I'm going to do it anyway. Okay. Because after a certain hour, banks ran automated clearinghouse, ACH, on a crap load of IBM mainframes. And while that was running, your debits and stuff, but it would catch up the next morning and you'd wake up and be like, I now have negative $49.94 in my bank account. Well, all that stuff has to be monitored, but it's fairly boring. Once ACH kicks off, it's literally on autopilot, right? We didn't have to monitor stuff. There weren't a million processes running. ACH just ran. And I worked those night shifts when it was running because it was a 24/7, 365 data center with a guy who looked like Master Po from Kung Fu, was named Kong, was his last name, and he sounded as Jamaican as Bob Marley because he was from Jamaica. I don't make this up, guys. Anyway, so Henry loved to listen to Art Bell when he wasn't listening to reggae music. And it was Henry's boombox in our section of the data center, so we listened to what Henry wanted to. What's up, Bill Allen? Good to see you. we're gonna trust me, we're gonna be playing some Gamma World. Now there would be a campaign. Start a top secret game that dovetails into Gamma World because things go really off the rails. So there's Henry and I sitting there. Now, in very short order at my company, even though I didn't understand the individual greebly nuts and bolts, I was made familiar with how ATM networks worked and how an ATM singularly works. So we're sitting there, and this guy comes on the Art Bell show. And he goes to Art Bell is like, okay, our next caller is Jim. Jim is from Rapid City, or Cedar Rapids. Jim is from Cedar Rapids. And Jim, you're gonna tell us about Y2K in the banking systems. And Henry and I are looking at each other. So we just kind of sit back. Henry stops playing solitaire. I stopped reading, I don't know, science fiction book or something. And we're listening very carefully. And this guy goes off on this completely like lunatic fringe rant. And he's like, and I worked in banking computers. The ATM network is not ready, Art. And if one ATM isn't ready, it will cause a cascade effect failure. Guys, in the 1990s, an ATM consisted of a motherboard with a video card, a 2400 baud modem, a 10 megabyte hard drive, not gigabyte, megabyte hard drive, a floppy drive, and a 286 processor and 1 megabyte of RAM. That's it. That's all. 90% of ATMs around the country to get all the information out of them, it was done by pulling a journal out that somebody then had to enter in by hand. The positive balance files were sent over a 2400 baud dial-up line. ATMs didn't care what day it was. They didn't. They didn't keep track of that. The computers in our building, which had been Y2K ready since like 1997, did. There was no, but we're listening to this guy, and he like, you know, you can kind of picture in your mind that he's calling in with a satellite phone while he's gassing up his RV because he's driving out into the middle of the desert to wait out the apocalypse. So that's my other Art Bell story. That's my other Art Bell story. Death Angel used to fix ATM machines for NCR. What time was this, Death Angel? Because I think there's a little bit of Venn diagram overlap. So there you go. That is the Art Bell juice that you can wring from me tonight. 2001. Okay. I was out of there. I left the company. Well, I left the production side of the house. I came in 96. I left production in 98 and went to internal LAN until October of 2001. I left in October of 2000. So I never, I would have, you and I never would have interacted. But anyhow, so what else is going on? Guys, we're into the 4030s, I think. 4000, and I'll have to look. Let me see here. Yeah, 4036. It was 4040 earlier this evening, but it's 4036 now. I think you guys probably don't like Tales of Tabletop Triumph, because every time I put one of those videos up, I lose viewers. Perhaps I'll find something different to do. Oh, but anyway, sorry. Communist mutants from space. Sorry, I'm just catching up with the chat. The four that left were Sasquatches who were not pleased. I unveiled their plan. We've actually the gentleman who does who composed the end credit song, Bob Antone, big believer in Bigfoot. I don't what I believe in is that there is more going on in this world than any one of us can easily figure out. So I don't rule anything out. All right. If Bigfoot exists, and he might, he's some kind of zoological thing that we haven't run into yet. Some type of large ape or orangutan. Shout to Bob Antone. Absolutely. Absolutely. I got to get you on the show again one of these days soon, Jeremy. And thank you very much for the super. I really appreciate that. But Ken's back for more Gamma World to see what antics I put them through tonight. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Swamp apes, I think they're all one big family. The sad news is that the Star Wars Holiday Special was modeled after an actual Bigfoot gathering that was inscribed in a stone in a field in Kentucky. That's funny. That is funny. But now, Bob, we had Bob on and we talked about legendary monsters and ghost stories and that thing, that sort of thing, and how they are reflected somewhat in classic Dungeons and Dragons, and that was really neat. That was really neat. GM Jacko, it's going roughly in this direction, and in about a half an hour we're going to go straight into Gamma World. So if you logged on and you're wondering, hey, where the Gamma World is, well, it'll start soon-ish, shortly. A bit of a surprise for the older audience. Challenge rating unknown. He won't stand still long enough to get a shot off. That's right. 4 days left on the Kickstarter. Hey, AJ Pickett. Some news. Thank you, AJ Pickett. That is really awesome. New Zealand pesos for the extraterrestrials watching the show. Nanu. Or no, Mork did it do like the Vulcan thing with a handshake. That's great. Are there Gauss rifles or railguns? The players haven't found any, if that's what you're asking. I'm not giving anything away. The camera looks weird. I look weird on the camera. I think so last night we played Space Hulk, which if you've never gotten a chance to play Space Hulk and you wonder what it's like, go watch the video. I did a solo play of Space Hulk. I had the camera set up. I had lighting on it. We had miniatures. It was a lot of fun. I stood up for the majority of the game and I signaled a touchdown. The referees are signaling a touchdown. I stood up for most of the game. All of the game, which means that the camera had to be angled up so it didn't cut me off right here. And I think, and I thought I pointed it down enough so that it wouldn't, catch me from here up, but I don't think I got it down as much as I'm comfortable because it's showing. Like, I would love it if somehow I was in a studio. Like, I don't know how to do that stuff. You should be happy that I'm not sending this out to you guys like on mimeograph pages. Like the Dungeon Delvers newsletter. Oh God, this smells like developer's fluid. Oh, right. This must be from Bill. Yes, Terminator is awesome. Or Space Hulk is awesome. But anyway, so I think when I set this studio back up, I didn't crank the camera down enough. But again, I would love it if it was somehow possible to get like a better picture of me or something like that. I don't know. Sending it over UUCP. You'd have to find me via Veronica search. I'm becoming a mind flayer. I don't think so. I mean, I know I could use a shave, but I don't think they're brain-eating tentacles. PGP ASCII armor. Oh, I was flinging my arms around. Oh, well, I mean, mind flayers don't. I don't know. Fix the horse's head. What are you guys even talking about anymore? could zoom in some, make everyone think I have increased in size. Oh. Well, yeah, I mean, if some of my audience are actually bears, it would scare them off. Like, it would drive them away. I know you guys are talking about that. Never mind. Like pen and paper and hard media, I hate everything that... I'll tell you guys a funny story. Before 2020, I actually strongly considered putting out a zine. Like, all this would come out in print. Like, all the stuff that I do, but through print. You want to talk about a losing proposition? You want to talk about no audience? A print zine instead of my show. Like, just now, you guys would be getting the issue where I was raving about the PBS hit piece. And, like, sometime in early March, you'd be getting a print. You'd be getting an issue about what went on with WotC and Hasbro and the OGL and everything. So, of the TSR games, which ones have I not played within the last 5 years, and which one would I like to run? Thank you, Bill Allen. A question. That's a good one. TSR games I have not played in the last 5 years. Now, do we consider Dungeons and Dragons an all-embracing term? Because if we do, then Dungeons and Dragons is obviously out of the running. But if you break it down, then I haven't played original Dungeons and Dragons. I don't think. No, I think I have played some OD&D in the last 5 years. And I think I've played some Star Frontiers. Don't quote me on that. Not many. If I'm being honest, not many. But then also understand I don't have that many TSR RPGs. I have Gamma World, Metamorphosis Alpha, and of course I have many flavors of Dungeons and Dragons. That I have. Well, Car Wars isn't TSR, and Ravenloft is a module. I'm not sure. I mean, if you just said RPGs, I could start naming you a list. But I mean, when it comes to TSR games that I own, I think I've played them all. Star Frontiers might just slightly fall outside that list because I ran like a one-off Star Frontiers game. But everything else I've mostly DM'd, but I have played. What about a deep dive on City of the Gods? I'll have to acquire a copy, Luther. I'd have to acquire a copy. I don't own Heroes Gang. So these are the TSR games I've got. No, Boot Hill is just a straight up cowboy quasi RPG. It's really more of a war game kind of thing, but you're thinking of Deadlands. So TSR RPGs that I actually own a copy of: Gamma World, first edition. Of course, I own original Dungeons and Dragons. I own a couple of different flavors of basic Dungeons and Dragons. First edition AD&D. I don't think I have any 2 ebooks, unless there's one hiding here or there. Star Frontiers. I also have Attack Squadron, but it is that is not an RPG. That's a Chit and Hex space fighter game that is essentially Star Wars: The Attack on the Death Star. Road March, I'm glad you got rid of a toxic player and / dungeon master. Now, when it comes to RPGs that I own, well, let me flex on you guys here a minute. Gosh, I'm going to have to think of just things that I bought, because if I launch into the stuff that's in the Rusty collection, that could get rather extensive. I had Alternity Gamma World for a little while. Malwinia Cyrno, all from York, but I don't any longer. Anyway, so obviously I have Star Frontiers. Obviously, I was going on non-TSR RPGs. Mech Warrior, Mechton, Robotech, Hero System. I gotta look. I actually gotta look. Call of Cthulhu, Star Wars, Twilight 2000. Star Trek. I have a TriStat system rule book over there. I would be remiss, of course. I have Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay First Edition. I may have a Second Edition book sitting around here. Ever consider running some Dungeon Crawl Classics? People have asked me about running DCC before, and I don't think I own it unless I do. I don't know. Okay. This is going to sound like I'm bad-mouthing DCC, and I'm not. I promise you, I'm not bad-mouthing DCC. But the problem is DCC doesn't do anything for me that Dungeons & Dragons doesn't. And I love First Edition AD&D and Basic D&D and Original D&D. Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay is so different that I can play it and not think, I could just be playing D&D. I mean, I might play it as a demo for you guys, like go do a dive on it or something. But I just, and it's like when people used to ask me when I was developing stuff for Gary, they're like, "Oh, you must love Castles and Crusades," and I was like, And that's not an expression of distaste or hatred. Volcano God has run some riffs, and for me actually, we had some fun. He let me run a power armor pilot, not a glitter boy. I want to emphasize that. I explained the science fiction universe of Maschinenkrieger SF3D, and because riffs is riffs, I wound up in the Rift's Earth, but in Maschinenkrieger power armor. So it was less powerful than a Glitter Boy armor suit, but it was more grounded and more realistic, and I enjoyed the sessions we played. But anyway, to get back to the question, DCC, again, I'm not bad-mouthing the system. It's just like it does. it does sound kind of neat, but I mean, AD&D is infinite. You know, when you get to the end of the rule books, it's not like, well, I just finished the zombie reading in the monster manual, and I've run every monster against my players now, and well, I guess we're done. No, that's it, not it. I have not played Chill. I have not. I have seen it here and again. Second edition Boot Hill is a proper RPG. Cool, good to know. Bill Allen again asks, as a forever DM, do I ever get to play any games? Is there a game you'd really... Yes, there is a game I'd really like to play in. I would really like to play in a long-term set in the Macross storyline giant robot anime-based game. I know that sounds completely weird. I know that might sound just completely around the bend crazy for a guy who loves first edition Advanced Dungeons and Dragons as much as I do. But I would love to play in that. I'll never get to, you know, whether somebody ran it with Mechton or somebody ran it with the Robotech RPG or they kit bashed something, I would just be head over heels. I mean, but that's not the only one. Like if somebody said, well, I'm not going to do that, but I'll run first edition Advanced Dungeons and Dragons as close to buy the book as you do, you down for it, and I'll run it, you know, every Saturday evening or something like that, and roll 20, or you can come over here or whatever. Oh my God, yes. I would absolutely love to play some Twilight 2000 using the first edition timeline. My buddy Kevin runs a Mean Hero System game. I would, if he was available. My favorite RPG in the horror genre. Oh, that's easy. Call of Cthulhu. Call of Cthulhu, baby. Call of Cthulhu. Call of Cthulhu. Call of Cthulhu. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Yes, we did a 4-week, and we're going to do that again, by the way, in 2023. We're going to do a 4-week Call of Cthulhu horror shot. It will be grim, dark horror. It will not have a happy ending. It will not be played for yoinks. I had a phenomenal group on Friday nights, and that is likely what we'll do again. We will run it on Friday nights. We will put... Gamma World on hiatus for 4 weeks and run a Call of Cthulhu game again this October. Oh, thank you, TJ. It was a lot of fun to run, and I still think poor Todd, when his character went insane and shot one of the party members and ordered the other two out of the cavern where the crazy British diplomat was summoning Nioghtha. I'm so sorry about this, y'all. It's fine. It's Call of Cthulhu. You're supposed to. I think the only person who made it out okay was Doomsword's character. Doomsword Deathmaster's character, and he was going to end up reading a copy of De Vermis Mysterious and wind up going insane anyway by the time he got back to it. Would I play Pulp Cthulhu? Yeah, and I've run a Pulp Cthulhu game once. I set it in 1946. Or do you mean Pulp Cthulhu in the sense of like sword and sorcery, like Call of Cthulhu, but Hyborian Age? Because when you say Pulp Cthulhu, to me, I think like, what if Call of Cthulhu, but written by Dashiell Hammett? The Call of Cthulhu session that I ran for a couple of friends of mine was set in post-war Los Angeles, like early 1946, all the characters worked for a newspaper, the Los Angeles Tattler, which was a seedy low-end rag. And they were sent to investigate this wild new private social club called the Agape Lodge. And that's where I started to throw in some realistic stuff, because that's where L. Ron Hubbard hung out right after the war. And he met Jack Parsons. And Jack Parsons was into thelemic magic and in touch with Aleister Crowley. Like, Crowley was still alive and Parsons was still... or Parsons would send him letters. And to give you an idea of what L. Ron Hubbard was up to, Aleister Crowley warned Jack Parsons and said, "Look, I think this guy's bad news. I think this guy's a con man and a huckster." When Aleister Crowley steps up and says, "I think this dude might be a bad influence to have around," you know something's gone off the rails. So basically what it was is Hubbard bought into the great old ones and that sort of thing, and he was basically going to release a plain English version of the Necronomicon and harvest people's mind energy to bring about the awakening of Cthulhu. But first he was going to put it to a test, use Jack Parsons' wife as a human sacrifice to bear a dark young of Shub-Niggurath, and the players with loss of some sanity, Jack Parsons with loss of some sanity, poor Jack Parsons' wife with loss of a good chunk of her sanity, escaped as the thing began to materialize, and without a proper sacrifice, it ate L. Ron Hubbard. So that was my pulp Call of Cthulhu game that I ran. And I had a lot of fun. The players had a lot of fun. And while it was now obvious that that you know, the great old ones were a clear and present danger in the world, I like that idea, Ken Robeson. I like that a lot. You pay to see them win or lose. Too much CO. Very funny. So, who's this Seth you guys are talking about? Oh, Seth Skorkowski. I'm sorry, I'm not deliberately trying to mess that up. Seth Skorkowski. Okay. But anyway, so they had a lot of fun, and yes, even though there were old ones, at least the world was spared L. Ron Hubbard and Scientology. AJ, I'm going to assume that's in reference to that Seth Skorkowski comment and just move on, because that's you. COC is not so... Well, I mean, hey, finding out that there's great old ones and that sort of thing, that's not a happy ending. Even if LRH got eaten, I think that's awesome. And I actually had a long-running character in a COC game. Many COC games. Clint Dalton. I still have his character sheet. And yes, Clint did have some insanities. Agoraphobia and arborophobia. He was afraid of trees and the outdoors. So it actually did have a happy ending-ish of sorts, sort of. But anyway, we're going to get started here in just a little bit. Any more questions, guys? Happy in this chat is too much. I'm going to quit reading the chat. There's Bill, Seth, and AJ Pickett live stream talking about more obscure RPGs. I just want a copy of Realm of Yolmi. Is it so much to ask? I'd take a PDF. I'd take a photocopied. I would take a stack of Polaroids of each page if I could have a copy of Realm of Yolmi. But alas, I never will. You're rereading Fafhrd and Grey Mouser's Swords books? Sort of, Brodo. Sort of. Once again, the awesome and inestimable Rusty Schaefer ran a D&D game. It was 5th ed, but Rusty's an old schooler like me, so it didn't it didn't chafe, I guess I should say. And it was set in the FR, but because Fafhrd and Grey Mouser have been known to travel to different worlds from time to time, I got to run the duo. So I ran Fafhrd and Grey Mouser. When am I going to open that Car Wars box? I'm assuming you said Car Wars, not Car Ward. This Car Wars box, Mobius. This Car Wars box right here. You want to see this box get opened, Mobius? That's what you want? Is that what you want, Mobius? You want to see it? You want this opened? There you go. Never let it be said I don't do for the audience. Let's see how painless that was. That box is full of bits. That box is full of bits. That box is full of map, counter, dice. This one is, so this is the reissue, but it's like all the old rules was spit and polished, and they made it kind of look a little bit like an older version of the game. But yeah, we got a baggie. We have all the car counters pre-punched. You don't have to punch those out or cut them out. Greetings, Orbital Lair. I don't think I've seen you comment before, but if you have, that's fine. We have our little baggie of 4 6-sided dice, never been opened. A rather chunky boy of a rule book. That's right, we're doing an impromptu unboxing. We have character record sheet, cycle record sheet, weapons list, car record sheet. Hello, Laura. Thank you for joining us. We have, speaking of bootlegger turns, we have the bootlegger turn meter. This has got demarcations on it, little hash marks, and you to determine how successful your turn may or may not be. Old Car Wars set in plastic box. That's awesome, Orbital. I have one of those too, but it's one of the reprint ones that was gifted me by, once again, Volcano God. And of course, it comes with the massive map. And on the back, of course, there's an urban map. So that's what you got in the reissued copy of Car Wars from around 2016, 2015-ish or so. You see, Mobius? You asked nicely. And I do my best. I hope you enjoyed that. What is my favorite D&D character that I get the most play out of? The Dungeon Master. I have... Well, no, I'm going to take that back. So back in August, when my wife was ill and she was in the process of recovering from a not minor surgery, I handed the reins of my long-running Monday night first edition AD&D game. It's not the years, it's the miles orbital. Anyway, to one of my players, Dan, who is living proof that great dungeon masters can lurk anywhere, even amongst people who have never run a game. So anyway, Dan took over for 6 weeks, 5 weeks. I don't remember exactly. It was 5 or 6 weeks. I don't know. Saturn's funeral sounds pretty awesome. Anyway, so Dan ran classic Car Wars classic AD&D. I was looking at the word Car Wars in the chat. Dan ran classic AD&D for 5 or 6 weeks. I got to play a paladin. I loved the guy, but I haven't played in any first edition AD&D. Hardly ever. Not long enough to remember a character. So I would have to say that paladin was probably my favorite one. You asked, I tell you. Now it was tough going. It was tough going because we had a pair of thieves, Feven and Steelin. That's CTEEELIN and FEEVIN. Feven and Steelin, a halfling brother-sister thief team in the party, who I think were probably stealing from my paladin, but my paladin wasn't lawful stupid. He was naive and good-hearted. But I like playing a paladin because my power fantasy is someone who can affect change in the world and always does the right thing. A 13th level paladin get killed in the Tomb of Horrors back in the 80s. That sucked. Ooh, how, Road March? How did they get killed? We're waiting on a couple more players, by the way, and then we're going to get started on Gamma World. The Blue Gaming Troll. Greetings, Blue Gaming Troll. I'm waiting on Road March to tell us how his paladin got killed, but we're also waiting on a couple of players. But they'll be in here soon. Not going to tell us? Oh, well. So Doomsword will be in shortly, and then we're waiting on Todd. Can't remember. It was the end fighting the list. Yeah, that fighting a Sararak there in the end is it's bad juju. Once he does the suck your soul out thing, and then when he's full, he teleports you out and curses you. For the Forever DM, the most memorable NPC that I played. This is going to be very controversial. You know what? No, I'm going to set the controversy aside. I'm not going to tell you the most memorable NPC. Imagine a player uses polymorph self and turns into a fly and then flies into the demon mouth. Well, you disintegrate. So the most memorable NPC is I have several notable Greyhawk personalities in my World of Greyhawk game, and one of them is Lord Robilar, Rob Kuntz's character. So Lord Robilar is in the game, and the players hate him, and I don't understand why. He's a perfectly nice, reasonable guy who just wants to do the right thing. They don't like Robilar. So we're waiting on Todd to join us in the chat and to join us in the back room, and as soon as he does, we'll be rolling on. But the most memorable is one of my own concoction, and when I talk about her, people are very sharply divided, and most of them against me, about Lady Jane, so I tend not to bring her up in discussion. It's nothing salacious, it's nothing disgusting. I just entertained my extreme end of the envelope speculative thoughts to create Jane, and no, well, the players don't hate her. The players were actually some of them were forever wary, others loved her. But yeah, she was born out of a thought experiment that I had. But you guys will have to find out about that later, because now I got to get my headphones on. I got to get my headphones on, my lovely, delicious AKG headphones. That's not sponsored, by the way. I just really like these AKG headphones. And I've been meaning to buy myself another set, but I have $0 to spend on anything. So the NPC is done, Fuchsia. Let us welcome our Gamma World panel. Back once again as Numbers Rab is Doomsword Deather.
Hey, what's up?
The Angel of Death herself, Kennick 1 as 4077.
Hey, peeps.
A guy who has 3 names, which is incidentally the same number of characters he's had in the past, same number of sessions. Let us say hello to Kevin as Do Re Mi.
Ah! Sorry. Look at me there.
Of course, great value Yoda, not to be forgotten. The one, the only Bogo Jorts is played by Tonka Todd.
I would like to think of Bogo as Yoda if you bought him off of Wish.
Yeah, Wish.com delivered today.
Absolutely.
Nice.
Hey, that's how the Rust Monster came to be, right? Basically. So
yes, that is exactly how the Rust Monster came to be. And for those of you who have not been following the Gamma World game from the beginning, this is going to be a new and exciting turn for you guys, because back from a multi-month hiatus, from his tour of, was it Europe, India, and the subcontinent. Yang Yan Zhao as the one, the only Rex Dashington. And I
Hello,
found it as a
everyone.
greetings. It is wonderful to have everyone back in the house. Welcome, welcome. So, when last we left this band o' adventurers, you were in the ruins of the ancient city of Lanta, exploring what you had hoped would be some kind of medical facility where you could acquire different forms of healing for your party. You had ridden up one of the vertical movement boxes to ascend to a floor, and you had fought dangerous mutants when you had exited the elevator, but you slew them all in good order, blasted them one and all, and there you stand in an open vestibule. The windows are burst out by some ancient concussion, you know not what. Bogo did take a radiation suit bath. Yes, he did. So yes, there you find yourselves on this in this corridor with windows that are burst out. You can look out across the ruins of Lanta from here. The two dead aliens lie at your feet, and there are more offices and spaces beyond this that you have yet to explore. So, Rex, what is Numbers Rab doing, please? So you're giving me the silent treatment, huh? Well, two can play at that game. Well...
4077 is going to go to the broken out windows, and I'm going to look around, and as long as there's nothing that seems to be moving out there, I'm going to jump out and fly and do a little scouting around. Just a quick look-see.
All right, so you are flying around the building, kind of catching some thermals, riding around there. Do-Re-Mi. Kevin, what is Do-Re-Mi doing?
I'm looking for other unsavory characters that might be still hiding or, waiting for us to show up unannounced.
Okay, so there is immediately in that area, there is a sort of a countertop sort of thing that has been cleared off. There's a few crude personal effects of these creatures. You're not sure exactly precisely what they are, but there's a few obvious bags made of hide, some cans that have been repurposed into carrying devices, that sort of thing. What is Bogo doing?
Bogo is straight up looting these dead dogs.
Okay. Well, all right, Bogo. They have the crossbows. If you remember last week, they had been firing crossbows at you guys.
Now this isn't the Max Rebo guy, right? That was the other group. I just try to keep my head on straight here. This wasn't the elephant guy.
Sorry,
the plant things, weren't they?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. That was the prior week. My bad.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Well, I guess they're not going to need that stuff on the countertop anymore. So we'll look and see what it is. Maybe they're playing poker or something.
Cards Against Humanity.
Yeah, there's just a few odds and ends there.
That's their reliance they're in. Cards Against Humanity.
So let's see. What do you find? We're going to say that there's 5 items of interest that you might want or might not want. Come on here. No, that's the monster encounter table. They were not carrying a sleep with them.
Oh, come on.
All right. There is a ceramic coffee cup chipped, and it has an image of the Director of Genetic Security fused on its side.
Jerry Jijax, right?
Maybe.
Okay.
There's a strange box, perhaps 2 centimeters long and 1 centimeter high and 1 centimeter wide. It has a hole in one end that you can very clearly see by the light available. Tapers down. It is a conical hole. And on one quadrant of the hole, following the cone shape, is what appears to be a sliver of metal.
Does it have any? Is it solid? Does it have any kind of opening, like screws or latches or?
Okay, so yes, on one side of it, there is a tiny screw that you think if you take that out, it might let that side open.
Well, I don't know what else to do with it. So yeah, let's take the screw out if we can.
Okay.
I'll sharpen up a Domar if I have to.
I'm
all right,
so glad I'm
you're
flying around the building.
While you're working on that.
Okay.
In one of their pouches, Bogo, you find a faded but still brightly colored box that appears to be made of a thick, heavy paper, and it shows an image of an ancient vehicle on one side, and on the other side, perhaps denoting what is inside the box, there are images of individual parts. And it said it is for a Chrysler Model 407 Moonflyer, 1 tune-up kit.
Definitely pocketing that in a very
nonchalant way.
You know what I'm saying.
All right.
That's it.
Could somebody turn off their electronic device, please? Thank you. You're getting a ringtone or something there. Also, sitting on the other side of the counter, there, Do Re Mi, you notice that there is a battered but intact jerry can of some kind.
What color is it?
Red.
Awesome. Okay. Does it have holes in it?
It's got
intact.
a spout.
Okay. It's intact for liquid. Okay.
Yes.
Nice.
And lying next to that is some kind of glass and metal device. You're not sure what it is. It has a black and burned out screen on it. It is on a pole that is about 1.5 meters long. The glass dome on the top has a round red flag sticking up in the glass dome. And the flag has stamped on it the words "Time expired." You're not sure maybe if that's some kind of ancient grave marker. 4077. 4077. Okay. Doomsword, what is numbers doing at this point, by the way?
Yeah, just basically looking around. I don't have anything in particular. You know, my sort of raison d'etre has been to find some sort of hydrogen battery recharger, that sort of thing. So those are the main types of things that I look out for. That and hydrogen cells.
Alrighty. As you are flying around 4077,
I'm very cognitive of any kind of movement or anything else like that. I've gotten a little intense. I got attacked last time, so I'm going to be cautious. Stay like close to the building.
okay. You think you espy down there on the grounds? Well, I mean, you're not that high up. You guys came up to like the 8th
14th
floor
or something,
so,
wasn't it, or something? Yeah.
yeah. It wasn't high up. It wasn't that high up. You're a little startled by it. This large number of folk, they appear to be, at least from this distance, as simply dressed as the ones you had met earlier. It might even be them. You're not sure. It looks like there's about 30 of them around there.
Do any of them look familiar at all from this distance or no? Can't tell?
From up here, you can't tell.
Okay. I will quickly fly back in. Do they seem to be heading our direction? Or are they just kind of milling about?
They kind of just like stop and stare when you fly into the building.
Okay. So I fly in and say, we might have company outside, so we might want to get a move on. Let's get out of here.
Looks like killing's back on the menu.
Okay, so there are some
the pole thing, Bill, just in case.
Already. And did you say you were grabbing the jerry can also?
Yes.
Oh, heck yeah.
That is full of something. It is completely full. It weighs a good amount.
Okay.
We're putting that in the trunk.
Okay. So are you moving on to the next office on this floor?
I think we gotta like get in our car and move on until this group passes and then come back and keep searching.
Well, that's many, many floors down.
We had the elevator.
No, I understand that. I'm just saying that's many floors down.
I mean,
Last time we used it, didn't it go all the way to the top?
Do we have rope that everybody except for Bogo can climb down? Because I can fly Bogo down.
Not enough to get down the side of the building. You don't.
Is there fabric or anything like that? We could take their clothes and rip it up and make a rope down.
They have like loincloths, so no. You could search for cable or what have you elsewhere in the a little bit deeper.
Yeah, and we're not making ropes out of the loincloth. Sorry. I'm not doing it. I'll just die.
The amount of fabric it would get you, maybe, what, 6 inches?
So what do you guys want to do?
Well, where are these people, things, the
So I'll take
company?
them kind of to the broken arm part, and I'll point in the direction. Can we see them from the broken window or no?
If you look down on the street, you can see them. They're not like at a dead run, but they are moving quickly away from the hospital.
Oh, they're moving away. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then
they
we
were
got
not
some time.
What are they running from? I'm gonna look on the other side of the building to see if there's something chasing them.
Nope.
No, they're just running. Okay.
That might be concerning, huh?
Well, I mean, when I run, if I'm running, you better run too, because I don't run unduly, right? So
they clearly saw you, 4077, so they might be running from you.
no, I totally get that.
Oh, they're scared of me? Really? Why?
Me?
Listen, we're afraid of patches of grass, so I don't really hold it too far against them. You know?
The big
They-
scary bird lady.
Yeah.
They obviously have heard that the great ninja warrior Bogo is here, and they are afraid for their lives.
The bird lady carries the ninja warrior. Beat up
Entirely
kid.
possible.
Yeah.
Entirely possible.
It is definitely dangerous being around Bogo Jorts. No argument. Let's go down to the next set of offices, I guess.
All right.
Start searching again. We didn't find anything else of use. Just some
Not in this immediate area. Like I
Okay.
said, you
All right.
you searched about 20 square meters. So
Okay.
This is like a
and then,
festival, isn't it? It's not really an office per se.
yes, it's like 4077, you being a medical bot, you have a little bit of knowledge about how a hospital would be laid out. So this would be like the main nurse's desk, and then the ward would be behind it.
Okay. So we should get the good stuff farther on. Let's go. But let's not walk into any rooms with medical equipment that's active. That did not end well.
I thought that was your specialty.
Well, someone cut a hole in the door and then they walked in and got like zagged. So
I thought that guy was your specialty as well.
he's
I
a
don't
doll.
like-
He's not a guy. Okay.
I don't
That
like
whatever he is.
Let's just be a little more practical, i.e., not try to kill us. So yeah, we'll is it lit, or I mean the windows are broken, I guess, but down the
I've got
hallway
a spotlight
is
if
it
we
lit?
need it. I can turn the spotlight on. We can light this sucker up.
You do
Or-
have a spotlight.
I got
Bubba,
IR
Turn it off
goggles as
from the
well.
windows.
Bubba has natural infravision. I can sneak ahead and scout and bring back word.
Oh, that's always ended so well.
Listen, next time you do that, I'm going with you.
Okay, I'm gonna I'll let them figure out who's leading, and I'll be
You
following.
two go and we'll come along. We don't
Yeah,
want to like mess up with your infravision with our light,
All right. You want to go, Bogo?
So Dory and me are kind of hanging back. We're like checking out any little spots in this area if we missed searching it.
I suppose I'll take the... Go ahead.
Go ahead. I was going to say, let's just do this like Brutus.
Yeah. I figure I'll take the left side, with my laser rifle at the ready. I've got one full hydrogen cell and none remaining. So I got what I got. But, I'll keep a lookout if you want to go a little bit in front of me, because you're probably maybe a little bit quieter or something. Take the right side, go up maybe 10 feet in front of me. Does that sound good? Like take point?
And, I'll Captain Kirk roll every once in a while, just to keep it stealthy.
There you go.
Okay, so you pass a series of rooms on this slightly curving hall that proceeds past the area where you'd fought the two creatures, the arcs, and following it along, there are doors on the right. The wall on the left is sort of blistered and peeling. Moisture and whatnot has caused just kind of a general degradation of the wall. The rooms on the right, the doors all seem to be in various positions of being open. You see a bit of plastic tubing here, a large metal cylinder there. Like it's like 1.5 meters, maybe 2 meters long, and perhaps 20 centimeters in diameter. The upper portion of it is green. One of the rooms has a chamber that seems to be similar to one of the ones that you saw in the first floor of this building. And there's a shadow inside as though it might be occupied.
Bogo will stick his head in the door if it's open to take a quick look.
I'll cross the hallway to Bogo's side and be behind him.
Okay. Bogo, you recognize the person in the cylindrical chamber in the room. Unless your eyes deceive you, that's Rex Dashington.
Say it ain't so. Bogo will tell numbers. Rex, it is.
Rex, surely you're mistaken. What would he be doing in a hellhole like this? Plus, I just seen him back. I'll take a look.
Yeah, that's pretty much Rex Dashington in some kind of stasis chamber.
What the hell? Alright, Bogo. You go first.
Bogo starts getting his finger real wet while he walks in.
I'll follow him.
Okay. Numbers 4077. What are you guys doing?
I think we're researching this area and that to see if there's anything that we missed before we head that way.
Yeah, I was pretending to search just so I could get some distance between me and Bogo. So once they got like 15 feet ahead, I decided that I didn't see anything of interest and started walking forward.
All right.
I'll eventually trail after.
Yeah, this is fairly well stripped. I mean, there's some of the rolling bed things here. Most of them with the stuffing ripped out. There's some plastic.
Are there any like leftover bandages, wraps, anything like that would be useful or no? No.
Okay. Anything along here appears to have been either looted away or has decayed to uselessness. Your medical technological experience says that it would be more dangerous to try and use anything you found to treat an injury here than it would just to let the injury go.
Fester on its own. Okay. So it sounds like we're kind of slowly making our way up to where they've stopped.
Go. Check this out.
I'll walk up. I'm kind of a little bit freaked out because this seems way friendlier than normal.
There's one of the ancient tech chambers, and there is a seemingly healthy-looking person lying in it.
Can I see their face? Do they have like a mask or something on them, or?
There's like a breathing tube attached to the nose that goes over behind his head, but other than that, no. No mask or anything like that. Sure.
And I look at it and I say, "Do what you did with the last one. You made it work."
Is it running?
Yeah, there is a green light winking on and off down in the base of it where you saw it before.
Is this the same kind of chamber I saw downstairs?
Very much so. Yeah, it's the same chamber.
You made it work. Come on,
I
you
think
can
it's
do
already
this
running.
one. Well, do
think
your
it's already
thing to
running.
open it up.
Does
You
he
don't gotta
look
open
like
it up.
is he breathing? Does it look like he's healed up or rejuvenated? Or does it look like
So,
he's like in bad shape?
so you can you figured out the other one after
Right.
some fiddling and whatnot. So you were able to sort out how to read through the monitor, and there is a very, very slow rhythmic pulse, and oxygen and body temperature is like I'm looking this up, the centigrade version of like 60 degrees.
Would I
Okay.
recognize those ratings at all as being normal at all, or no?
You have not had any experience with this piece of technology. If he's alive, that is extremely unusual. It may be the machine doing that.
Okay.
Listen, we know this guy. This is the guy who sent us from Sanctuary. Sometimes he's pleasant and sometimes he's not, and this might not even be him. So I'm going to cover it. Keep your eyes open.
Okay.
Bogo pulls on Number's pants leg and shows him he's ready to assert dominance if needed.
Yeah, why don't you just be careful, Bogo? We don't know what's afoot here.
I'll
Okay,
stand
well-
off to the side and wait for Do-Re-Mi to do his magic in case I'm needed either to help or hinder.
I'm going to keep my laser rifle pointed at the opening.
Okay, well, I guess I hope he survives this. I'm going to attempt to open the chamber, and shut it down in a reasonable and appropriate fashion.
Okay, well, I mean, you had successfully figured out how to use the piece of technology down there. So, I tell you what, roll a 10 sider and just don't roll a 10.
Okay.
We'll spice it up. You have a 10% chance of killing him. I mean, if something.
Killing.
I got a 2, so that's a -3.
Yeah. So, thank you, Robert Phillips. Robert Phillips says Bogo a go-go. Yeah, you just,
Wake me up.
tab over to the correct setting on the little keyboard there, and you select begin revivification cycle.
Yep, that's what I did. Agreed.
And
then I'm going to step back and get out of the way.
And I'm there to catch him or knock him out, depending upon what's needed.
the green light changes to blue and starts to pulse faster and faster, and then it turns to solid green. There is a hiss, and the door swings out of the way, really just kind of rotates back around into itself. Rex, something must have gone wrong with the hibernation procedure, because they literally said, okay, count backwards from 10, and you said 10, and now the chamber's opening again.
So Rex is a little bit unsteady and goes on his knees for a second. And when he stands up, he shakes his luscious mane of black hair, sending cryogenic fluids all over, and wipes the other liquid out of his beard, then puts his hands on his hips, and in all his glory, he says to everyone there, "Where am I?"
Yeah, that's Rex, ain't it? Damn it, Rex, I'm a salvager, not a savior. You know that.
Do I?
What are you
know
doing here?
How did you know my name is Rex?
From the last time we met. Amnesia got your head? You're the guy who sent me here.
We've met before?
Yeah, we have.
The scientists, they did say there might be some memory loss with the stasis. I remember going in and coming out, and I remember flashes of certain things. By the way, do you have any spare clothes? It's awfully cold in here.
We got some loincloths. I think they'll fit perfect. They're a little on the small side, so they seemed appropriate.
Clothes here. I've got extra clothes. I can come up with pants and a shirt for him.
I would certainly appreciate that, Miss.
I'm 4077.
Of course you are, Miss 4077.
Yep.
Bogo begins climbing up his leg to get to the ear.
I reach down and I grab Bogo and I say, no, let him get dressed. No.
And who is your
I
little
pick him
friend
up
name?
and he was another one that probably you've kind of forgotten, but probably not for long, apparently.
Bogo, do your thing. He'll remember that.
Bogo climbs back up, and his finger is super wet. He's been nursing on this finger in his mouth for a long time. He sticks his finger in Rex's ear and says,
Sorry.
"Me, you belong to now."
And Rex, he will pick Bogo up, I guess, between his finger and his thumb. Well, thank you. And then he'll put you back on 4077's shoulder. And then he'll take his pinky and try to clean out the saliva from his ear.
All right.
It doesn't come out. Just to warn you, it doesn't come out. It's some super saliva.
We'll start working.
It's acidic too.
With the shirt 4077 gave him. So, why were we here?
Well, you sent us here to salvage ancient tech, meet anyone we could, trading partners with Sanctuary, that kind of thing, if I remember correctly.
Rex will look around and say, right, ancient tech. Yes, of course.
You remember Sanctuary, don't you?
Obviously.
No, you didn't remember me. I was the superstar of Sanctuary, don't you know?
I can't say as I recall that part.
Nah, of course not. Well, look at all these fine folks I've gathered up for you.
Well, it seems like you've done a wonderful job. So
I'll tell him that I'm very happy to meet him. Very happy to meet you, Rex. I've heard a lot about you.
He sort of jerks aside for a second. Oh, another one of your friends. And he'll look Do-Re me up and down. And, well, it's nice to meet you. God.
Yeah, they call me Doe.
Doe.
Yes, okay. Doe. Yeah, and I know they call you Rex because that's what they told me. But it is nice to finally meet somebody that has, more than just, the goal of finding medical bandages and stuff.
Well, that's me.
I tell you, Rex, we went through 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 guys before we got this one.
Well, that sounds awful.
It's pretty bad. One of them was pretty putrid, though. You would remember him.
Would I? Who was that?
Yeah, that was Chef Coney. Poor guy. I felt real bad for him. Death was his release, shall we say.
Well, death comes for us all, but at least you upgraded to your feathered friend here.
in the
Yeah, I guess you
background,
could say that.
I'm kind of like poking and looking at him to do kind of like a impromptu exam to just make sure that he's not like going to pass out on us or something.
Rex, you're being poked and examined. How are you reacting to that?
He will turn to 407 and 7 and say, Miss, you are awfully forward. Perhaps this is not the time.
I'm a doctor. I'm giving you an exam. You're occupied, so I mean, I figured I could multitask here.
Perhaps later, after
okay.
you buy me dinner.
Or buy him dinner after.
This is the second time in like 3 days.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a look at the chamber and see if I can find any details about when it was put into its state before I turned it off, or before I disabled it, whatever.
Okay, yeah. Well, you know your way around them, so you can absolutely look at the system log in it.
Yeah, I'll check the system log and see if it says anything interesting.
Okay, so let's see. What is the best way here?
SSH protocol mismatch?
No,
That's the one I'm used to.
no, nothing so terrible.
Okay,
Here.
good. Awesome.
You're not on mobile, are you?
No.
I'm asking you, the player. You're not on mobile, are you?
I am not. No.
Okay.
Are you guys getting noise? Is that what is going on?
I'm not getting any.
No, I'm fine too. So
hang on 1 second, guys. I'm telling the player in private.
Okay.
Ooh, secrets.
Hey, we don't keep no secrets around here. That's a quick way to get an ass kicking.
And after this is the dinner again. Yes.
nice.
Preceded by the swab.
I'm used to that.
All right, give me.
If he gives us too much trouble, remember I have asserted dominance on him. So
You can just control him. Then.
Well, now's the time because he ain't got that snazzy power armor.
Yeah, he only has the clothes I gave him.
And a loincloth.
And a loincloth.
Only slightly
I gave
used.
you pants and a shirt, so you got the undergarments on your own.
Yeah, slightly used loincloths. The best kind.
Hopefully it was clean when you put it on.
So I messaged you there, and you may take with that information what you like. No, Dungeon Minister, he did not assert his dominance in that fashion.
Yeah, I didn't pee on you.
Yet is the key word there.
Yeah, you just got to pretend it takes. Because if you don't pretend it takes, it goes bad. All right, so I'll write this down. I don't know what to make of it, but I'll write it down just so I can read it again later when I have some idea.
Okay.
Since we're in this room, are there any like storage lockers or anything that might have clean underwear or other equipment Rex might need?
Yeah, since you got your loincloth off of a couple people we just iced, it's probably not clean, right?
It sure ain't. The smell should be an indicator.
It could be cleaner. There is there's a stout length of metal pipe on the floor that would suffice as a club.
I can hand him over the weird thing with the expired on it, right?
The weird thing with the expired?
Yeah, the pipe I picked up in the other room that had the window with the red flag in it.
The glass bulb thing.
Yeah. That's a very, very heavy club.
Yeah, I'm like, hey, I got one of these. You know how to use one of these? I have no idea what it is. I'm not telling him that though.
Would Rex know how to use one of whatever those are?
Give me a percentile dice roll. I mean, yeah, you can swing it as a club, no problem.
Right.
And it's probably really like a deadfall club if it has any little metal discs in it.
A really fancy club, huh?
Yeah.
61.
Yeah, you don't know what this thing was, but you're pretty sure you could beat something's brains out with it.
Well, thank you very much.
Bogo is going to run back to the dogs, grab the 2 crossbows, and bring them to Rex.
Yeah, let's give him something with a range.
Okay.
Thank you, little friend.
You now have a crossbow, and you have 50 bolts for it. Each one of them had 25.
In the year 2525.
If man is still alive.
And this man is, at least.
I tell Rex, I think I saw this item in the Legion of Gold. And I kind of brush it and walk away.
The Legion of Gold? I'm afraid my memory hasn't quite come back yet.
Yeah, I don't think it happened yet. It's sometimes I get some precog kind of things, even though I'm not a mutant. Don't tell anybody that. I shouldn't have said anything, and I turn around and walk away.
All right then. So, how goes your mission to find these medical supplies?
Well, we found some, but
You
can never have too much. So we'll probably have more luck farther down, because we had some on the first level, but as we're going up on levels and that, destruction is higher up. So something happened above us. So that's why we got off here.
Then, by all means, let's continue on.
Alrighty, where are you guys going to?
There's more offices on this level, aren't there yet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Finish this level.
We have found two functioning rejuvenation chambers in here. I wish we could take them. I realize we can't now, but they're kind of just wasting here.
Well, we know they're here. I mean, they're too large to transport, and we don't have the power source to be able to do anything with them, even if we were able to disconnect them and move them. So, I mean, they're here if we need them, so we know that they're here. So if something catastrophic happens, we've got the car. We can try to come back here to let the technology do its thing. And it might be beneficial that you show someone else how to use it too, in case you're the one that needs it.
That's a good idea. I'm going to look around and see if there's some clean method to disconnect this thing. Like with a plug, or is it like hardwired, where you'd have to cut stuff?
There are tubes connecting it to the wall. There are what you think are power connectors. there are couplers that hold them in place. You wouldn't have to cut it. You'd have to detach the couplers, but you could. You think you could? It could be moved around.
Okay. I just want to note that.
Should we
and
disconnect
then-
it so no one else can use it, and then reconnect it in the correct order in case we need it?
I was just trying to figure out so when we do have some way to move it, we know we can. If we disconnect it, somebody might just disassemble it, right?
Oh, okay.
If they find it, I don't know. They might disassemble it anyway, but maybe with it powered on, they would fail at disassembling it, right?
Well, I mean, we
So-
found 2. Who knows what's on other levels too? So.
Yeah.
So we'll move on and leave it be, and
I'm
maybe
gonna
find
try
some other
to-
stuff.
I'm gonna just as we're walking, I'm gonna try to recreate a map of how we got here, if I remember it at all.
Okay.
I mean, it's an obvious landmark, right? But it's in the middle of this place that has a lot of landmarks. So
Alrighty. Give me just a hot moment here, please. Well, Ken, that remains to be seen. That remains to be seen.
So did Do Re Mi kind of explain it to the rest of us, or at least a couple of us, how to work the thing? So
Yeah,
in case something happens.
I'll show them and tell them what I did. Right.
Okay.
So at least if they do it again, maybe they have a bonus before they fry themselves.
Rex watches with great interest.
Okay, yeah. So you all get a handle on basically the screens will walk you through it. There's a safety harness system built into the thing if the subject cannot stand on their own through the initial cryonics phase. As long as these 3 things are set to a minimum of 10%, then a person can be safely preserved for relatively indefinitely amount of time. Greetings, Ardu. Hello. Welcome. And yeah, you just you're able to take them through the 1, 2, 3s of how to use this technology.
Okay, cool.
All right, I think our time here is over. Asses and elbows, people, get down the hallway.
All right.
You lead, I'll follow.
Fair enough.
All right. So, exploring the other rooms as you move down the hallway, there is a bed that has just a few bones lying on it. They've probably been lying there since you don't know how long, and an obviously broken robotic unit lying on the floor next to it.
All right, I'll approach that carefully.
Okay, you're not sure what happened here. It doesn't look like the thing on the floor did something to the remains lying on the bed, but there it is. What this tableau means, you can't tell completely.
All right, I'll hold up and motion for the others or wait for them to come up. Hey, Doe, you want to look at this bot?
Yeah, I'll go and look at it and see if I can figure out what happened or if it's anything salvageable.
All right, give me a D10 roll, please.
All right. I got it's a 2 without my modifier.
All right. Yeah, there's actually an atomic power cell in it you can remove.
Well, I'm gonna see if I can remove that.
Okay.
Hey, Bill, real quick. Broham dropped, and he's back.
Oh, sorry about that. I thought I was wondering why Bogo was being so quiet and polite.
He said he hit the wrong button. I guess it was the shut up button.
I guess so.
The mute.
Yeah.
Mutant.
What's this button do?
Don't
He
click
stuck his finger in the wrong hole.
In the wrong hole.
it's over his laptop, and well, that's what happens. I'll show you who's boss. HDMI port.
I can tell it's 2.1 just from the voltage.
Yes. Okay, so you're you did pull an atomic power cell out of this thing. Appears to be fully charged.
Is there? Have I seen anything that takes one of these?
Not so far, but I mean, it's a highly potent power cell.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Take that sucker with us.
yeah. Absolutely. Hopefully, it's in a good casing. I'll put it in my front pants pocket just for safety.
Rex will tell
I'm
him.
sure we've got a bag for you.
Rex will tell him, you should be careful with that.
Yeah. I mean, I've played with something like this, but not this. So, well, hey, how would you like it?
No. By the way, do you have children?
Not yet, and probably not later.
That, by the way, that was my mistake. That's not an atomic power cell you find. It is a hydrogen power cell, but it is fully charged. It is fully charged.
I've seen these before. Okay, I feel much better.
Those burn you. Those burn horribly if something goes wrong with these.
Yeah.
Hydrogen cell, eh?
30 years later, why have I got this lump?
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
you'll know right away if something goes wrong with that.
I'm going to hand it over to Numbers because I know he's short.
There you go, Numbers. You have
Anybody else want this? You cool with me taking it?
Nah, you can have it, but dude.
Appreciate it.
Yep.
And we're not giving it to Bogo.
Well, he's
got enough stuff the way it is. He's got 2 TVs for crying out loud.
I just figured, he's the spotter for us. So,
Well, if we can find a charging station, I got 4 more of those. Well, 5 more now. That is all empty, except for the one.
Hey,
I'll ask Rex. I'll say, hey, have you been around this building? Have you seen anything else, or do you just don't remember any of it?
Roll percentage for me there, Yang.
it looks like he's off for a second. Oh, are you
Nope.
back? Okay.
Nice.
Yang, roll percentage dice, please. Yang, roll percentage dice.
It looks like he said in the chat. Sorry, I'll be right back.
All right.
Sorry, I'm back there.
That's okay. Roll some percentage dice for me. They're asking if you recognize anything around here.
95.
Yeah.
You haven't the foggiest.
I just don't remember.
No, I understand. I try not to remember too. You're the fortunate result. I asked him about the hydrogen cells. I was like, have you seen anything that, or know of anything that charges those? Maybe.
And Rex, he'll look at it and he'll say, I remember in the past, yes, of course, different vehicles could use hydrogen cells and power armor and different weapons.
Have you seen a recharging thing for these before? I surely haven't.
I wonder if our new vehicle could use it.
Oh, seems like in a facility like this, there should be something.
That's my thought too.
Well, we'll keep it in mind. I mean, it looks like it's fully charged.
Yeah,
Well,
well, this one's mine's.
yeah.
It's going in the rifle.
It's rifle fuel right now, but yeah.
But I got a whole bunch of empty ones. You find that charging station, we'll pack them full and hand them out.
Odds are those are on lower levels usually.
I guess you
That's
would
kind
know.
of where they tend to keep the power sources down on the ground floor.
So we're looking for some sort of equipment room, huh?
Yep, it's going to be in the basement or down.
I thought we searched down there pretty extensively. Did we miss some spots?
There might be a basement or something.
And there are still other rooms on this floor for you guys to search also.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there was no clue what actually transpired in this room. You know, looking around, nothing. It's not like a puzzle
No.
that fits together. Okay.
When I was flying, did I look up to see if I could see what kind of damage was above in that to tell what might have happened to the building?
Well, I mean, the building and many other buildings, like you could see out to the, and to show my lack of knowledge of the Atlanta area, well, I just deem this like out to the northwest of Atlanta, there's just a flat expanse. Like even from here, you could see the sun gleaming on the fused ground. So somewhere northwest of Atlanta, something.
So it seems like it's kind of glassy out there.
Yeah, something out there. Now, as far as around in the city proper, there's collapsed buildings. There's streets that are fairly clear. There's the remnants of old elevated roads and other structures that you had no 100% certainty of. However, on this floor of the building, now that you're thinking about it, one of the rooms nearby looks like something on the outside impacted and knocked a large hole in. You could see machinery when you flew by, but then you were distracted by the tribes people.
Okay.
And came running inside saying, we need to leave, we need to leave. So you didn't really get a chance to examine it.
In relationship to where we are in the hall, is it coming up? Can I kind of determine that?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to point out and say, hey, coming to think about it, when I was outside, this room, and I calculate approximately 2 doors down or whatever it is, that there's probably machinery, so we need to be very careful because there seemed to be from the outside something that tore through and the machinery was exposed. So I don't know if the machinery itself is like that other room that we encountered, or if there could be whatever got into the room could potentially still be there and active. So we may want to be careful.
I'm always careful. Bogo,
Extra careful.
we may want to be careful. Extra careful.
Bogo gives a mischievous grin.
That's what I thought. You go first.
I'm gonna go over there, pick Bogo up, hold him to my eye level, and just I'm gonna take my fingers and I'm going to point him at my eyes and point him at his eyes and point him at my eyes again. I'm watching you. And I'm going to put him back down.
Bogo's going to point to his mouth, point to your ear, and point back to his mouth.
While he's being held and distracted, I'm going to take my finger, put it in my mouth, and stick it in Bogo's ear.
Awesome. You just got wet willied.
Bogo just goes limp with defeat, where someone has asserted their dominance over him.
Someone has asserted their dominance.
I'm handing Bogo to Dilremy. I'm like, it's your problem.
That's why I didn't do that.
It's okay, little guy. Now you just got to listen to what I say. And I put him down on the ground. Let's go find out where the rest of this takes us. I'll grab my slug thrower and take it out, just since I've been carrying without it for some stupid reason this whole time. I'll walk. I'm periodically putting the jerry can down as I walk.
Oh, I can carry the jerry can now that you're in charge of Bogo. That is a weight off my shoulders.
Okay, so there is down the hall. It's the last door on the right. You can see a little bit of sunlight shining underneath it. The door itself is still in the frame, but the entire frame of the door seems kind of bowed outward.
All right, I'll put my right hand on the door.
Okay.
Yeah, nothing, no heat or anything perceptible.
A little warmth because of possibly the sunlight shining on it, but other than that, no.
All right, I put a little pressure on it. Does it seem like it's pretty solidly shut?
Yes.
All right, we're gonna have to breach this door, guys.
We used the vibroblades before, right?
Yeah, Bogo did.
I look at 4077 and I was like, is this maybe one of the rooms that has that stuff you're talking about in it?
Could be. We got into trouble last time we did this.
Okay, I asked Bogo.
We might want to avoid this room.
I asked Bogo if he wants to open the door, otherwise I will.
So
and I make sure they stay back.
Since Bogo has been dominated, he reluctantly takes out his vibroblade and cuts a Bogo-sized hole in the bottom of the door.
All right, I hold Bogo back so he doesn't go in there, and I look through the hole first.
Okay. This room was definitely impacted by something, and you're pretty sure you can see what it is. There is a roughly humanoid shape in the room. It is approximately 2.5 meters tall. It is made of some sort of metallic alloy. It has arms and legs and this curvilinear, sort of bulbous, bulky body shape. It is some kind of mechanical apparatus in the shape of a person. It does not have a head. It just has a sort of a smooth covering above the ostensible shoulders that has a cylindrical object about maybe 120 millimeters in diameter, offset on the right-hand side.
Does it look like it's moving, or is it just standing there?
It is not moving, and it is not standing. It is kind of lying on its right side.
Oh, okay. It's not standing up. Okay.
It is not. It is not standing up. No.
I'll take my wrist and I'll put it in front of the hole to see if I feel any kind of nasty heat or whatever coming out of the hole in the door.
What's your constitution?
Yeah, it's 13.
You're fine. You don't feel anything. You don't get that lovely ARS suntan on your arm or anything like that.
I don't feel
I'm not
irpy.
feeling the love here. I
You
think we
do
should
feel
move
irpy.
on. Let's seal this door up and move on.
Well, I mean, it might have something. They might have more power cells. It looks like it has like a big straw, a very, very big straw on it.
Very big straw with lots
Right.
of little straws in it.
Yeah, it'd be perfect for like boba. So we're gonna. Well, I
think this
don't
is
know.
a bad idea. I think this is a bad idea.
Usually
I think
the best
this is a
equipment
great
guarded.
idea.
If we really want to take supplies back, some of the most valuable could be in this room.
Right. That's what I'm thinking
I'm
myself.
standing back. You guys are welcome to go.
Yeah, I'm with Rex.
Is there something I can toss through the hole? No, I'm not trying to hit it. I'm just trying
Fire the
to
hole!
drop it next to it.
Sure, there's lots of scraps of metal and brick and whatever here.
Okay. So I'm gonna,
Bogo will roll up into a ball since he has a full body corpus and just wait for his new owner there to go bowling with Bogo.
I'll
I'm
roll
standing
him
back
next.
in the hallway. I am
Oh,
out of this. I'm just
so
watching.
I'll put
Don't
my
stick
slug.
your fingers in him.
No. Okay, I'm not ready for this anymore. I guess I'm gonna walk away. I'm gonna get my vibroblade out just in case I have to cut the door open, since the hole's obviously not big enough for me. But I'll try to roll him in there. I don't want to hit the thing. I want to just roll next to it.
You can just give him a little push and you roll in there. Bogo, you're in the room. You can now see this thing's physical form. It looks like it was sitting on something that was kind of semicircular in shape. You're not sure what purpose that served, but the semicircular thing it's sitting on is crushed and heavily damaged. And now that you're in there close to it, you can see that up around whatever would have been its head, for lack of a better term, is you can see a number of small lenses fixed there.
Am I able to open the door now that I'm on the inside? Can I?
No, the door is jammed by the impact. You can attempt to if you want to give me a roll.
Okay, yeah, sure. Am I rolling a D20?
A D6.
A D6. I will be rolling the green D6 for those keeping score at home. And I rolled a 3.
Yeah, I mean, you can work the latch and you hear it click, but the door itself is just it's jammed in there from the impact.
Bogo will roll the vibro blade through the hole so they can cut their own entrance to come in.
Okay.
I have one, so I'll cut it. I'll cut the door hinges off.
Okay. You have to you still have to kind of pull the door out of the way. It's that jammed in there, but after working on it a bit, you are now looking in there. The outer wall of this room is completely demolished, so you are looking out on the ruins of Lanta from a very high vantage point. It is on the opposite side of the building that the windows that you could see out of were. So you're looking to the south now, we'll say. And sitting, like half slumped sitting there, is something that looks very, very, very much like Rex Dashington's power armor numbers.
Yes.
Look at this. Rex, you remember that?
This does look familiar.
Yeah, you wore it for a
Rex
while.
Is it functional? Does it seem functional?
Well,
Give-
those are tech specialists,
Yeah, give me a
just so
D10
you
roll
know.
All
if you
right.
want to try and figure that out.
I'll back out of the way.
9. Starting off good.
It's metal and it seems kind of solid.
I would like to start pushing buttons.
There are no buttons on the outside, but there are a couple of levers you could try to manipulate if you want to give me another roll.
7.
Don't forget if you have bonuses.
Okay.
Rex does not have bonuses.
You set your fingers in and you pull open, and with a slow sort of mechanical whine along the sides, the front and back clamshell open. There is a very well preserved skeleton with some remaining strands of hair and a blue jumpsuit, a skull cap, and something wrapped around the head with a black piece that stretches towards its mouth, still tucked inside this thing.
I will pull out the skeleton, take the cap and discard the rest of the body, and then try to wedge my way in, put on the cap, and see if I can get anything to happen.
Okay, give me another D10 roll.
1.
Nice.
Okay, you slip your arms into the appropriate holes, and while it does clamshell shut, the upper bulbous portion of it is now leaning back. So you still have daylight coming through. You can still see people. There's basically a padded halo around you, but just beneath that, at least in the front arc, a series of small, flat, black, glossy rectangles.
All right. I will see if I can get the top piece to shut.
Okay.
Eight.
Nope, nothing really changes.
All right, I'm going to try again. 4.
Nothing really changes.
Rex, he's going to stroke his goatee for a second and give it another go.
Well, you reflexively start to do that and slam the metal gauntlet into the upper plastron, and then realize, no, you can't really do that.
Oh,
so
sorry, guys.
But, you know.
Can Do Re Mi maybe help him from the external side?
Just roll the 1.
Oh, you did roll a 1. Okay.
Yes.
You've got it to seal, and fitfully, the displays one by one flick to life.
Yes. Can I tell which kind of armor this is?
You're going to have to give me another roll.
Alrighty. 10.
All but one of the screens, which is right in the middle of your vision, flicks off, and it just has a green rectangle in the middle of it. You cannot see anything through it. You are in the dark, by the way, in the middle of this suit, and it's getting a little bit warm.
All right. So from the outside, they hear a muffled, "Dang it." And he is going to start pressing buttons again, see if he can reactivate this.
Give me a roll.
6.
Okay. It goes rigid against this kind of saucer-shaped thing that was affixed to its back, and you're just now lying there. The slight circulation of air you were getting has stopped.
Okay. Well, Rex is gonna use his try to mentally envision this thing turning back on and a nice cool breeze of air.
Roll again.
Oh God, 8.
Okay, well, that's the first time that's ever happened. Okay.
Rex suffocates to death inside of a metal can.
Once I see him start panicking, I'll see if I can help. The outside, of course.
Okay, so Rex, yeah, you hit a couple of things. You're not sure what Atmo Purge means, but you try that, and it is very hard to breathe. You are choking. You are getting dizzy. Your vision is fading. Sweat is running down into your eyes. You basically take the equivalent of 5 points of damage.
Okay. Well, I am definitely trying to press any button I think might undo that.
Okay. Give me another roll.
4.
Okay. All of the other monitors click to life, and you can now feel air circulating past your face again.
Necessity is mother invention.
Yeah.
And he's going to say, I think I got it, guys.
All right. Give me another roll.
3.
Okay. Well, it detensions and kind of goes into a less of that rigid position, so you can actually move the arms up and down now.
I will see if I can pull myself up.
All right, give me another roll.
Three.
Okay, you are now standing up. The screens have just got basic diagnostics on them, and the one directly in front, you can now see through. It's just like you're just looking through a piece of glass.
And it's normal vision?
Yes, it is normal vision.
Normal vision. All right. I am going to see if I can get like a systems readout or like a master menu to check out the options.
Give me one more roll.
1.
Okay. Everything springs to life in here. You can now clearly see in a 180-degree arc projected in front of you BOGO 4077, Do Re Mi, and numbers. They all have outlines around them telling you exactly how far they are away, and do you want to lock a missile onto each of them?
I am going to click on no, but I would like to see if there's a weapons inventory.
Let's see. Okay. You have a grenade launcher, something called a grenade launcher that says ammo 10. You have something that is labeled MML ammo 15. And then you have something there that is labeled lasgun ammo 10.
All right. Would Rex know what an MML is?
Give me a percentage roll.
Oop. 95.
No idea. It appears to be what is currently selected. The rest of you standing outside Rex, he stands up in this thing and it's now moving fairly fluidly. It looks beat to hell. It's got dents in it and deep scratches, obviously, where it's smashed through the side of the building. But it is fully functional. And perhaps kind of distressingly, this little pyramidal shaped thing with a glass eye looking type just sort of pops up, looks at each of you, pausing for a half second, and then pops back down.
I'm in the hallway, so I don't really see it, so I'm okay.
Well, you might be disturbed to find out that it did look in your direction. What is Do-Re-Mi doing?
I'm ogling it, I guess, because that's what we're doing. I don't know what else to do.
Okay.
Good news, everyone. I'm in full control of this fine piece of technology.
Sure, yeah. Looks great, man. Give him the thumbs up.
Logo says, fat in the suit, it makes you look.
You hear a little disappointment in Rex's voice. Well, I've been in that tank for a while. A little out of shape.
Okay. So, Rex, by looking through the computer screens that you now recognize, even though some of the concepts it's explaining are a little tough for you to get around. So this is heavy assault armor.
Ooh.
It is, powered assault armor. It has a 50-point force field. It has 3 atomic energy cells in it and will run for 48 hours of constant use before they have to be recharged or replaced.
All right. Yeah. Okay. All right.
You are armor class 1 when you're wearing it. It has a built-in laser pistol, you know that. And something called an MML and a AGL.
AGL. Okay.
Yeah, AGL, which I kind of let that go. That's automatic grenade launcher.
Okay. And you said it was a laser pistol, not a rifle, right?
It is a laser pistol. Yes, it is built into the hands. And if you punch something, it will do 9d6 damage to it.
Ooh.
All right.
I guess we know who's going to be going in first.
Bogo.
Yes. You're back and throw Bogo at them.
Roll him.
Okay. So you have you have a suit of armor.
All right.
I'm still in the hallway. Stand back.
Okay.
Sure.
Now, looking around, now that you're standing up, it appears that the destroyed piece of machinery behind you was some kind of flying assist unit for this. But you can't really, you Can't really tell how it may have functioned or may not have because it is obviously completely destroyed, but the armor itself is in good shape.
Alrighty.
All right, what is Bogo doing? Are you trying to
whatever
the robots?
Whatever Bogo is doing whatever Doe tells him to do.
Okay, well, I tell him, hey, you act on your own behalf.
Go play in traffic. Jump out the window or something.
Yeah.
Run with scissors.
And it's like, no, I relinquish my control from you for the time being. Go ahead and be free. Or its equivalent.
Bogo just stands there.
Okay.
Freedom, so long an unremembered dream was his.
Yeah, it's been so long. Just a couple of minutes. Hey.
Be free. Perhaps it has been surmised that my master kept too long.
All right, I'll
Kenny Loggins, I'm free in my head now. Thank you very much.
I'll pat him on his head, or equivalent of his head, and I'll say, let's just follow these guys. I guess. That okay? I give him the thumbs up.
Let's do
Bogo
it.
replies with a thumbs up.
Okay. This isn't going well. I'm going to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my finger. I'm going to put it in my mouth. I'm going to wipe it on his finger, and then I'm going to accidentally fall where my ear hits his finger.
Wait, you're gonna what now? Run that by me again?
I guess Bogo didn't tell you that dominance was for life.
Yeah. I'm just attempting to make it appear that he
it's gonna be worse.
Yeah, I guess it's a pointless endeavor. I'll grab Bogo and I'll put him on my shoulder or over my back or whatever for now until he sobers up or gets drunk or whatever.
Dude, there was no dominance between he and I, so I don't know how to help you.
Roll him real hard into the wall and see what happens.
No, I'm sad.
For those in the audience who want to know what the powered armor suit looks like, it looks like my favorite powered armor suit right there. You can follow that link. That is the Maschinenkrieger SF3D power armor.
There you go.
Yours for only 3 monthly payments of $19.95. Yes, $19.95.
If only I'd have a dozen of them.
Okay, so yeah, we're I'm gonna see if there's anything that's left in that flying platform piece of it that we can recover at all.
I think
destroyed.
Give me a D10 check.
Okay. And
Bogo starts rooting for you from your shoulder.
Okay.
So what'd you get?
I got a 4 on the die. So.
I'm gonna break little pom poms for Bogo now from the spare clothes. He can make little pom poms.
Go Flash, go! Go Flash, go!
And you are what? What is your bonus?
It's -5.
Oh, yeah,
human.
You pull an atomic cell out of it.
That's perfect.
Yep.
Okay. I really hate putting these in my pocket.
Is there extra storage capacity in the suit for one of those?
Yeah, there's actually a bay where you can plug that in.
So you hear a psst as you see a compartment open on the armor, and Rex will point. You can store that in here.
Oh, sounds great. I was gonna put it in this jerry can, but yeah, let's put it in there instead.
The jerry can is full of something, so
No, I know,
it's
it's just
go
not-
in the jerry can.
It's not in my front pocket, which is where I definitely don't want to put it. So
You've got Bogo to carry stuff. He's got 2 TVs that he carries with him.
I feel really bad for Bogo right now. I'm not gonna give him anything that I think might be bad for his health.
Don't pity it. Trust me.
You have tamed the
Here's
wild
your
child.
chance to get him to leave those TVs behind. You could tell him no, and he'll have to listen.
The TVs
Yes.
anyway.
They're
as
in the
far as-
car.
Yeah.
They're in the
Dang
car.
it.
Yeah.
When we get back to the car, you can tell him to leave them, though, and we have more room in the trunk then.
By the way, Rex, you can carry 2 metric tons.
Nice.
How heavy is that rejuvenation chamber, by the way? Just asking for a friend.
Review picture is maybe 500 kilograms.
Well, holy crap.
Oh,
There you go.
Well, it's going to be a long walk home. That's the only problem, right?
well, I could maybe get this chamber down to. I think you said you had a car of some sort.
Yeah, but it's not gonna carry this. It barely carries the 4 of us. We
We
might
call
be
it a
able
car.
to squeeze you in there, but I don't know. We're gonna have to strap you to the roof, I guess. I don't know.
You're not going to fit Rex in the powered armor into that.
No,
But
we're
yeah,
gonna have to put him on the roof.
I think it had,
you don't
like,
want to crush the roof. It would
it
drag
had,
it.
like,
Well,
4
okay.
Find a
letters.
chain.
It had 4 letters on the side. I think it was YUGO.
How
So-
fast can you run? Can
If it's
you
a
keep
brand,
up
it
with
must
the
be
vehicle?
quality.
Can you keep up with the vehicle?
I think it was VW.
I'm going to suggest that a facility like this will usually have some sorts of vehicles in them. Perhaps we can find a vehicle bay and find another car, or perhaps even a trailer. take your
well, yeah.
chamber
Well,
on.
I don't know if our car is going to be able to pull a trailer, but yeah. I mean, if we
All
can
right,
find
look,
one,
I've been
that would
trying to be
awesome.
nice. I don't know what this our car stuff is. Right.
Well, I don't know about you, but I can just fly off. But hey,
There you go.
we're the group here,
So it's
so
my
that's
car.
what we're doing. We're doing.
Apocalyptic situations requires apocalyptic solutions.
Hey, you guys want one? Get your own.
I don't need a car. I got wings.
Well, it would be nice. Yeah. So I'm assuming the vehicles would probably be down.
Oh yeah, it'd have to be. They're not gonna be upstairs.
In an ancient structure like this, they're often on the first floor or in some kind of sub-basement for storage.
Where the power generators and recharging stations are gonna be.
Yeah, that was my nickname in Gamma School. Sub basement. Okay, well, I really do think we should take this home, if we could, and then
Yeah,
maybe,
more vehicles is always good.
yeah, no joke. Let's maybe we should try to find
Are we gonna
those
do a
things.
caravan now?
We do what we must. Only problem is, I don't know that power armor is going to go in that lift. I ain't riding with it.
Well, if we do form a convoy, I want my CB handle to be Scaly Ducky.
And by the way, Rex, you can fly in the powered armor. It does have anti-grav power.
Oh,
There you
okay.
go.
Nice. Don't worry about me in the elevator shaft. I don't ever recall hearing about problems with powered armor in one of them.
No, fair enough. How about we go down, you two do whatever you do, and we'll meet you at the bottom.
These guys have told me that this group has had issues with elevators in the past. I don't know the specifics, but it sounded pretty bad.
Everything's pretty bad.
Well, let's head down and see if we can find some of this stuff.
Was this the last office on this floor or no?
Yes, that was the last office on this floor.
Okay, we'll go down the next level.
So Rex will look for a set of stairs next to the elevator.
Yes, there are stairs next to the elevator.
I'll head down this way if anyone wants to go with me.
I'll follow him down. I mean, I've got my wings, but I'll follow him down the stairs.
All right. So Rex will just kick that door right off its hinges and start walking down the stairs.
You smash the door to flinders and just tum, 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 tum. And
Can
you are
try
down.
to be a little more quiet? We kind of want to sneak up on people so we don't let them know we're there. That way we can, like, surprise them. I know
Rex,
you're buffing all
like
this, but yeah, let's.
Rex's suit
try to
sounds like
keep it quiet.
cinder bricks every time he takes a step, being dropped from 2 feet up. So he can't.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they were going to be very surprised when Rex comes around the corner anyway, right? So
I just tell him to keep it down if he can. Work on that. Let's work on that, okay?
Stop quietly, damn it!
You
I'll
boys
do
want
my
to take the
best.
lift?
Stomp like a ninja.
Yeah, I want to take the lift.
I will try to put the power armor into tiptoe mode.
Okay, all you succeed in doing is lowering the surface pressure on the feet and denting the floor deeper when you walk. It is neither more nor less stealthy. So going down to the next floor, it is unlit. This appears to have been a general ward in the hospital. Briefly searching it, you find a few ration packs that are still sealed. You find some bandages, some antiseptic, something that could patch up minor scratches and that sort of thing. Damien wants to know, is Rex still carrying the pipe for a melee weapon?
You know he is.
You've got high-tech depth that can level a main battle tank, and you're carrying a parking meter. Excellent.
Yeah.
We
told you to pay when you stop here.
Yeah.
The rest of us were taking the lift down, Bo.
Okay. You can hear Rex walking in the lift. Like when you're in the lift, you can hear ka-tunk, 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 ka-tunk. And he's standing there in the elevator lobby when the doors open.
All right.
Completely ruined the girl from Ipanema. Okay, well, we go towards where the thinking is.
Well, yeah, I mean, Rex is standing right there. Again, as I said, this floor looks to have been fairly stripped, or things things have just failed, crumbled away over the intervening 100+ years later. So there's not much to find here. You find a let's see. Yep, you just find some bandages and food packs. That's really it.
We got another person hit the wrong button back in the green room, I think.
Oh,
Dope.
It wouldn't me.
It's the politeness button.
stop clicking things.
What's
It
this button
popped
do?
up. I thought it was a chat. It popped up.
All right.
So yeah, I'll grab the bandages and then I'll distribute the food to everybody.
Okay.
Damn it! Just those bandages we've been looking for all this time.
Hey, the food is actually at this point more important, but
Yeah,
the
yeah.
bandages will come in handy.
Okay.
Okay.
I look and see if it says Dippin' Dots on the food, because I'm taking those if it does.
It's not. It does not freeze the right Dippin' Dots. Sorry.
Oh, damn it. Okay.
Just add water.
Protein. It's labeled protein soup. Add 500 milliliters of water. Retort heats automatically.
Ooh.
It's labeled food court, bourbon chicken.
I ask numbers. I like how many milliliters do you think's in this jerry can?
Milliliters.
Yeah, do you think there's 500 milliliters in here?
There's only one way to find out. I'd say yes.
Do you even know what the liquid is in there?
No, didn't say. Did it say water or did it say liquid? Okay, well,
I said liquid.
I was never
we
that
knew
good
it was liquid. We didn't know. We didn't open it. We don't know what kind of liquid it is. It could be water. It could be fuel.
It
Who
looks like
knows?
water.
It could be alcohol, for all we know.
Ooh.
They call me numbers for a reason. That's because I don't give a damn about them.
It
We know
looks
it's
like water.
liquid.
So.
We don't know what it is. I mean, it could be blood for all we know.
Blood's mostly water. So okay, well, I guess yeah. She can grab the stuff, and then we'll start going down to the next floor.
Okay. You proceed down to the next floor.
I'll take the elevator instead of trying to tell him to be quiet and thunk, thunk, thunk.
All right.
I'm going to turn on my maybe ultravision or infravision, whatever this thing's got.
Oh yeah. You've got that built in. So this floor is very dark. However, you can see through your illumination and whatnot when you all get there. The walls are all colored very calming pastels. Nearest to the counter, there are a number of what look to be very, very small and very deep beds.
Oh, it's the maternity ward. It's a baby area.
It very well could be.
It's the BOGO wing of the hospital.
Exactly. All of these look like any one of these would comfortably fit BOGO jorts.
Do they have like carapace straps and stuff?
If they have papooses, I am grabbing a couple of them just to use on BOGO later if we need to call them.
Strap them on the armor.
They have swaddling blankets. They have all sorts of things.
I'm going to take a couple of them in case I need to rig it across.
I got to tell you, now
them.
that Rex has his power armor, you know, BOGO on the shoulder, it could be a Master Blaster kind of thing.
Oh, no.
I'm completely past the baton. You guys are it.
Who run Border Town?
We gotta handicap the power armor somehow.
Yeah. Rex ripples off a bunch of missiles and BOGO's just burned alive.
No, know,
I knew I liked you, Rex.
flying through the air to land with his vibroplane while Rex chars it.
Well, the lid is a perfect seat for Bogo, right?
Yeah. Hey,
It really
When
is.
my baton is completely passed. I am no longer responsible for this leg of the race.
All right. So, searching what was obviously the maternity ward, you do not, I want to repeat this, you do not find infant or child skeletons here. There are no bodies, no skeletons, nothing like that here.
No orcs. Okay.
No orcs.
No,
All
it's
right.
good.
Okay.
I've written
Any,
down baby carriers on my sheets. We've got it covered.
Anything like Pedialyte or little oxygen tanks or anything?
Hang on 1 second and I will tell you.
Ooh.
You
Because
just want the Pedialyte because of your alcoholism, right?
Completely.
Very-
But you can
haven't
get it
eaten
from
in a
hand
long time.
The day
sanitizer.
after.
orange is
Bogo looks longingly at one of the little baby beds, and then looks over to Doe and gives him just a sad face, and then looks back to the baby bed.
really lifting out of there. They only weigh like maybe a couple of kilograms.
Rex can carry that no problem. You've got your new passenger cargo thing going on.
Is there any Velcro tape?
Okay. Can I find any like functioning bed sheets that I can wrap up and put at the end of my pipe like a hobo's
Bindle.
Like a bindle?
thing on a stick?
A bindle, yeah.
A bindle, yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Perfect.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, you.
And we refer to it as the carrot.
Then we gotta whistle the Andy Griffith theme.
Oh,
That's what Rex has playing inside the armor.
nice.
Sadly, I watched some of that yesterday, so yeah.
Of all the things you could have, that's what you're choosing.
Okay. Lying on the counter. It's literally just been dropped there. It's not in a cabinet or anything like that. There is some kind of rifle-like weapon in very poor condition. It's got a cracked handle. The casing around the barrel is bent somehow. However, at the barrel itself is much larger at the end than it is near the handle, and there's no hole in it per se. There's just like a slightly bulging out disc.
Well, who probably will take it because he likes to trade.
Bogo looks longingly at the rifle, at the gun, and then back to Doe.
I give him the gesture for go ahead, dude. Whatever that is. Yeah, hand, palm to the left, thumb up, and point towards whatever it is.
Bogo grabs the gun.
Alrighty. You have a gun that is about twice as long as you are, but you can you can hold it in your hands. You've got it.
Can you walk, Bogo?
Yeah.
Bogo
It's not that heavy.
He holds one end of it and just lets the rest of it drag behind him.
He's like an ant. He can carry 2.5 times his own body weight.
Well, it does have a carapace, so yeah, okay. Good for you, Bogo. Thumbs up.
You know, you're going to have to tell him everything that he can do. He's going to give you that sad puppy dog look.
That's yeah. Sadly, I had this with a duck once.
How'd you lose it? Did you eat
it
the
was-
duck?
Yeah, no, I thought it could go underwater, but it could go underwater, and I thought it could go on land, but it could go on land, so I just had to run.
So, the last thing you find on this level actually is a it's the darndest thing. It looks like a cart, but it's floating about a hand span off the floor.
Nice.
It's an anti-gravity sled.
Hey, remember that rejuvenation chamber I keep bringing up every 5 minutes?
Hey, Bill, quick out of character.
Yes.
Share the Discord thing so people can communicate with us.
All right.
Because we've
Well,
shared like what some of our characters look like and stuff on there. So.
this won't work after a week. So
Oh, okay.
I have tried, and I have tried to make this permanent. So if you're watching this in the future, hello, future person, come find us on Discord somehow. Good luck. But there is the Discord link if you want to join us on Discord. With the
Just
easy
Just
URL
Bill
to
direct
remember,
messages.
discord.gg/nitpipizins. Okay. The anti-gravity sled will hold up to 25 metric tons. It is 2 meters by 3 meters, just the right size to fit on the elevator. Rex can stand on it in his power armor.
Nice.
And pull it along. It uses an atomic energy cell, and as soon as you switch it to on, and it floats up to its highest altitude, for lack of a better term, you begin draining the cell. The cell.
Do
Let's
all
see.
of us fit on it and it still supports us?
Oh, good lord, yes.
Oh,
So-
okay.
so-
I'm impressed.
I got an idea.
Seven's got some nice hips, but it's not like that. So let's see.
Can Rex get on the power sled holding the handle from the backside and use his foot to push it forward?
Rex, he will look at you. He will nod and then put a foot on there and use it like a skateboard down the hall.
Does it work?
Yes.
Okay, this is awesome. Okay.
So he'll turn around and come back.
Okay.
And get up.
And just to go ahead and answer the question that you guys are going to ask, and then we'll leave it there for the evening. You think you might be able to attach this to the back of your vehicle as some kind of trailer.
Oh, yes!
Perfect.
100%. Yep.
There you go. And that's where we're going to leave it for the night, guys. I had a lot of fun. Good to have you back, Yang. Thank you for
Hell yes.
reading the fold.
Thanks for having me.
Everyone for being
yeah, it's
here.
awesome.
Thank you once again for everyone.
And I offloaded Bogo. You're sharing him. You're joint custody. I'm good.
Joint custody. I want a divorce.
Joe
I'm a
has no
terrible
idea.
parent.
Joe has no idea what he's gotten himself involved with now.
Oh, I do. I absolutely do.
Thank you all. Thank you all for your supers. I'll be back. I may do a video or two. I may release a video or two this weekend, but I will be working on stuff for the next week. The video shorts, and of course, we have live streams Monday night. It's just kind of we're going to start a new look. I think we're going to start looking at some of the Steve Jackson game stuff, but I don't know. The next, well, I'm getting there, Mod Hunter. Tuesday night, of course, Preamble Ramble, and then let's play some classic first edition advanced Dungeons and Dragons, much like this stream, except we will probably have some miniatures and whatnot for you folks to look at. Probably have some miniatures and whatnot for you folks to look at. Wednesday, we're drawing ever closer to a Gotterdammerung conclusion for our Wednesday night classic traveler game that my co-host Kyle Schuant runs. You want to be here for that. That's loads of fun because I shut up and he game masters. Thursday is open bar night, so BYOB. And then Friday, guess what? Right back here playing Classic Gamma World. And with that said, you guys have an absolutely wonderful evening. Thank you, of course, to all my players. Kevin is Do-Re Me, Doomsword is Numbers Rab, Todd is Bogo Jorts, Safi is 77, and of course the inimitable Yang Yan Zhao as Rex Dashington. You guys have a great evening, and I will see you all next week for the whole thing just starting over. Peace and be well.
Bye-bye.
Have you seen my owl bear? Here's to all the weirdos everywhere in the woods and in the air. Have you seen my owl bear? Should I shave off all my hair? Bobs are all around. Some live in tunnels underground. Some are fat, some are rich, some are sleeping in a ditch. Can you ride a crooked horse without a saddle way off course? Naked as a toad, all the way to Smoky Joe's. Have you seen the little creep driving fast in his little green Jeep? He smells like fish and brandy, but his rotten teeth look dandy. Take me to the show, I don't care if fast or slow. Action flicks to dancing, dicks, just take me to the show.
I thought I heard a door, but I don't know if it was you. Are the shoes still there?